Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. This will be a really silly 1 versus 1 on Lost Temple. It's going to be Undead versus Elf. I want to say I was random here, and I don't remember my opponent, but we've got the far spawns. He's going to be scouting fairly early, it seems, and I'm going to be going for a dual crypt build, which is very unusual. It's really going to delay my hero. There's no tavern on this map, so I will not be able to rely on an instant tavern hero to sort of cover for some of this, some of the delay on the altar here. But this map does lend itself to fast expanding with many spawn points and gold mines, and pretty easy to create expansions for every spawn. So it looks like the enemy is going to be doing some Ancient War creeping. He actually is going to go for a Priestess of the Moon, which in some ways is pretty bad early game. The Demon Hunter by far has the stronger early game stats before you start getting units. But the Priestess of the Moon scales with larger armies and higher DPS units, like with attack upgrades and things like that. You know, Chimera. So I would say, like in big team games, at least like 3v3 and 4v4, and even to some degree 2 versus 2, the Priestess can have a much higher upside in terms of the damage output than the Demon Hunter. Now the Demon Hunter is pretty much always going to be the stronger early game choice. It's versatile. If you lose all your units and you're just down to like a level, maybe level 1 or level 5 Demon Hunter, whatever, the Demon Hunter's not gonna be any less powerful really because you've got fewer units. Whereas if you've got, level 5 Priestess of the Moon but 0 units, that Priestess is going to be very sort of much less effective. If she had True Shot Aura, that is, which is pretty much what you're going to go pretty much every game you get a Priestess of the Moon. So he's gonna tank all the damage with this Ancient War. He's got to be careful. He might, if he's not careful, he's potentially going to lose this Ancient War. He's got Flaming Area, so he's going to use a lot of mana to do this, and he is going to lose that. So he could have easily, he could have actually force attacked his hero with that Ancient War, and it would have made these creeps switch targets. So something you need to be aware of. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my camp with the ghouls. You notice I spread the ghouls out and get near the troll berserkers. I'm going to kill this shadow priest first. It goes down pretty quick, 240 hit points. And then I'm going to go for the troll berserkers. They have medium armor, and their DPS is way higher than the ogre warrior, and they take extra from the ghouls. And they only have about 50 more hit points, so they're going to go down just as quick, probably much quicker than the Ogre Lord, and they do the most damage. So they're going to be sort of the priority target. They also drop the item and the tome there, so that's good news. So my opponent does finish the camp, though, at the cost of his Ancient War. That was a bad move. And I'm really going to be just doing a sort of silly build order. I'm not really going try-hard mode per se in this game. I just want to mass a bunch of units, and I think I actually try to expand again, if I remember correctly, right here at this. Do I expand again? Yeah, I got the Acolyte here. So I'm going to get a second fast expansion, which is really unusual. Notice my opponent is expanding as well, so he might think, okay, I've got the expansion. Worst case scenario, my opponent is going to expand, and my opponent creeps out this some of these center camps here. He was going to creep those trolls, and he's going really slow. Now I coil the fountain creeps and wake them up while he's nearby. It's not going to be too big of a deal as he hides immediately, but if he wasn't paying close attention, that could have been really problematic for him. But anyway, it stops him from chasing me, so then I go right to his expansion. And I really don't have enough ghouls to knock this out, but I'm probably going to be able to force him to Town Portal. I kill his Wisp, I get level 2. I think I pick Unholy Aura, so I can just run. I can just run away quickly, and I'm gonna creep this camp real quick. And so yeah, this is gonna be sort of my play style for most of this game. Is just really fast moving units with the aura and the hero, and just letting my expansions do most of the work. You notice I'm actually still only tier 1 at my main base. So, but I've got a ton of ghouls, and I sort of almost accidentally aggroed those creeps. Sadly, he's actually sitting here by his expansion. To be honest, I probably could have taken his army there. He's only got 6 archers there, and in terms of the hero levels, he's only level 2. I'm level 3. 3.5 actually. So by the time that battle is sort of halfway over, I should have probably even been level 4. But the main point is I've got ghouls against archers, so I should have the advantage, especially with that hero level. With a Holy Aura level 2, I can get into position on open ground. I should be able to pretty much tear him apart, but I don't really want to engage that, even though I probably could pull it off the win. I'm just gonna go ahead and let him sit at his main base. I'm gonna just level up some more and let my double expansions go. I sort of assume correctly, it seems, that he's only got 1 expansion while I've got 2. So I don't have any real priority to run in there and take a battle that, you know, maybe I win, maybe I don't. But it's gonna really just stop all my sort of momentum for a bit if I lose, you know, half my army or my whole army. So I knocked that archer out. He's going to be out of position to defend this. So I come in here and I go for the expansion. I go for the wisp that he pulls out to try to repair it. Again, killing the wisp, of course, is going to give me experience, and it's going to take away his chance to repair it. Now, actually, unfortunately, this Tree of Ages is going to survive because he does have a really large army now with the huntresses and the archers. And so that was actually sort of a loss for me. I killed all the wisps there, of course, and I did a ton of damage. He could have uprooted and repaired it for free, mostly. So he should have probably did that, or a lot of it. So, but you know, I really was trading ghouls for wisps, and that's generally a bad idea. So he is going to be sort of catching up in the experience category, but I do move around quicker. With the level 2 and probably level 3 on Holy Aura coming out. I'm not sure if I get level 3 on Holy Aura or Death Coil. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I get level 3 just to be able to run around quicker. Most of the time, you're going to want to go for Death Coil instead of Unholy Aura, just because the damage is pretty insane on level 3 Death Coil. But I figure running around quicker would potentially be more useful. And I've got 2/2 upgrades, so I figure, and he's got these 2 mountain giants, so I have to click over and over again to kill this Tree of Life and keep focusing it. But I do knock it out at the cost of a ton of ghouls. I tell him he's been Doodooed, just to sort of trollish to go along with this account name. And I'm going to go ahead and scout down here to make sure he hasn't sort of set up any other expansions. And now I'm tier 3. I've got tons of towers at, you know, my expansion, my main base. This expansion actually has no towers, so if he goes there, he can sort of knock that out very easily. But I'll unsummon it and pick up an Orb of Corruption, 2 Scrolls of Healing, and I'm going to go ahead and get Ghoul Frenzy and the Stone Form for the Gargoyles. And you know, like I said, I wasn't really going try-hard mode. You notice I have about 5,000 gold. I'm pretty limited on the lumber, actually. I need to get, if possible, pick up a shredder. That would be pretty useful. I'm going to try to keep an eye on this expansion. And he's sort of camping, even though he's not expanding, he's sort of camping over there. So this is pretty silly. I think he's in upkeep as well. Yeah, he's at 59 food, so he's in low upkeep. I'm sticking around, I think, in no upkeep. So that's, you know, two expansions, a main base going in no upkeep is going to give me, you know, tons of resources, so I can really do honestly whatever I want. He's still really rolling around with a tier 1 army, even though his hero is level 5, which, you know, does help all of his tier 1 units. And it looks like he might be trying to get some Hippogriff Riders. I'm going to harass his base, try to kill this shredder. I'm going to kill it. It's going to be a pretty big win there for me. I don't think he's going to be low on lumber though. He's had it for a while, so he's got, he's got lumber for days, so to speak. About 20, what was it, 2400. So he's not going to be hurting in the lumber department anytime soon. And he's going to roll into my base. And again, I've got all these towers, and now only having 5 acolytes to repair is going to be a little bit bad. But again, I do have so many towers, and the Nerubian tower is there, slowing down some of the attacks. The spirit towers there are doing tons of damage, so he actually isn't going to be able to press this down even with mass archers. Now he lost several huntresses there, which are pretty terrible against towers in general. And now I'm going to come out here, and I've made some gargoyles. I've got the Orb of Corruption, and I've got tons of ghouls with 3/3 upgrades. I've also got 3/3 upgrades on the gargoyles, so he just loses his whole army there. Again, this game was just a pretty silly game. He lost all of his units, and I'm at 74 food now. He's at 34, so he's way behind. I don't think he had full upgrades. We'll see when his units come out. He's got no upgrades on the mountain giants. He's got no upgrades on the archers. So he's behind in terms of now. I guess you could say True Shot Aura is probably worth about 1 attack upgrade. So arguably he is getting the like 3 attack upgrades worth of a bonus on his archers, but that's his main hero skill. Well, no, actually he's only got level 2 True Shot Aura, so he's I guess he's primed Flaming Arrow, which is I would say just a pure mistake. Especially if you have an army of any sort of, it doesn't take many units to sort of make up the 10 different the 10 extra damage that you get from Flaming Arrow. A hero, and then if we take a look at his hero here and we figure out 10%, it looks like he does about 33 damage average, then plus 7, I guess, so 40 damage. 10% of that is going to be 4, just about 5. So that one hero is going to be about half the Flaming Arrow extra damage. And now this is actually, I do really bad in this battle. I just A-clicked it. I figured it would be just me dominating, but it turns out he had those 2 mountain giants that I forgot about. So taunting these gargoyles was gonna give his hippogriff riders tons of time just to sit up there and dish out damage and get kills. Now he gets level 6 on his priestess. Gonna go ahead and drop the Starfall. I don't have a counter to it right now, and so he is going to kill. We're gonna trade armies here, and he's going to get a lot of these kills that he really shouldn't have gotten. This should have been an easy battle. If I would have focused, just continually focused with the Gargs, the Hippogriff Riders, and instead of letting the Mountain Giant taunt really mess that up for probably half the battle, it would have been game over. But even though he did get that, I cast Reanimate, and I'm gonna have all these dead archers and ghouls to sort of get those last hits in on that priestess. I've got the Sobi Mask, which is going to give me a fast mana regeneration. But he did have an Ankh of Reincarnation, so I probably, if I would have been paying close attention, I could have. It is nighttime, but I probably could have got the damage on that priestess, at least made him hide there. But I just go for this mountain giant. He ends up getting surrounded, so that's pretty silly. You don't often see Reanimate having very much impact, much less a mountain giant getting surrounded by reanimated units. But again, it really shouldn't have came to that. But it didn't matter. I've got so many resources. Again, I've still got 5,000 gold after losing my whole army. Now he is getting an expansion down here, but again, what can he really do? So yeah, that's gonna be you know, pretty much the end of his hopes here. He does have Starfall, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up a, at some point I realized I need to pick up a Dreadlord just to, you know, just to keep him from, like, smashing, you know, hitting my main base or my expansion, and, you know, just to have a counter with Sleep. I could go for Sleep or Impale. I just decided to go for Sleep for the Dreadlord, but, and I pick up a Shredder here. Now, unfortunately, he's going to run right by his Priestess. I don't know if he kills this Shredder or not. He actually, he doesn't have Flaming Arrow on. I think he's, yeah, he probably would have had a really good shot to kill that if he had Flaming Arrow on, but he didn't. So anyway, my Death Knight, I just chase him down. I don't have a Boots of Speed, and he does, so that is going to give him a chance to, you know, not just get immediately decimated by the Death Knight, but I can kill him pretty much at will here. You notice, you know, I've got 155 more mana, so I can, you know, and his Moonwells are pretty drained here. He can get some of his hit points back, but eventually his hero's just gonna die. He doesn't have a shop to buy healing items. Let's see how much. He's got plenty of gold. I guess if he runs by the merchant shop here, he could actually get a healing scroll or something. But again, I can just chase him down and get this kill whenever I want, really. And he turns around, makes a big mistake there, and again, he's back down to 40 hit points. So I mean, you know, if I really wanted to kill him, I could. But I clicked move and just had my Death Knight following him around. And when he gets about right here, I actually stop following him because I know if he runs through the messes up the line of sight and the vision, he might be able to get away. So I just, you know, I sort of manually do that. But now I chase him around with just move. And here in a second, I'm just going to, again, like I said, I can really build anything I want and win this any time now. But he's gonna be going through all this effort, and you know, he needs to realize I have 100 mana. I was right there. I could have death clawed him down. And so I'm gonna ask him, you know, do you know I had mana, you know, and he's gonna be going, and here in a second I'm just gonna run around in circles around his hero. You're probably never gonna see this in any kind of serious game, like a level 8 hero running around a level 7 hero, half hit point, or even less than half hit point, level 8 hero running around a level 7 hero with an immolation cloak. I mean, that was just like the ultimate show that, like, I can really win this. I actually don't know if the guy realized just how bad his situation was. Like, I didn't have any more units, so while it would have been really devastating for me to kill his priestess, they're probably game winning, even with just the Death Knight, arguably. You know, he still had an expansion, and he still could have, you know, maybe gotten his hero back potentially. Yeah, those two archers, and I think he still had an altar left. So, you know, as long as he can rebuild his hero, that wasn't maybe the end of the game for him. If I didn't have expansions, though, you know, that's really the only chance that he would have had there, losing his hero. But again, like I said, I don't know if he really understood exactly how big of an economic advantage I had. If we look at the resources, I mined about 15,000 more gold than he did. I did lose, you know, a lot more in upkeep, but not 15,000 more in upkeep. So then we look at the, you know, if we see the tech, wherever the tech score happens to be here, tech percentage, I was 53%. I had the full attack and armor upgrades for, you know, both tech trees. I didn't get any, you know, caster upgrades or anything like that. You know, I just went with a standard like ghoul, guard army, and then, you know, I just honestly stopped. I stopped producing units. Maybe I made more guards there at the end, or ghouls. I don't remember, or even fiends, but I didn't need to use them. So yeah, that was just sort of a goofy replay, and you see that the importance of scouting there should be the takeaway, like for my opponent. You know, I sort of, you know, I didn't do great scouting, but I had a really good idea But anyway, that's going to be the end of this audio. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is ScryMind signing out.